Thanks, Laura. So yeah, so welcome to the 1st of April. I'll do a quick sort of recap of March, just so we're now in April, so it's like this business just always moving forward. However, it is important to kind of look at and reflect on the month that you've had, the week that you've had, the day that you had yesterday. What did you do well? What could you do more of? What could you tweak? I'm not a big fan of changing everything all the time. I think consistency is incredibly important, and having the power of your convictions when you know that you're doing something that is going to work, making sure that you stick to it. So last month we actually had a really good month. We had a bigger month in terms of new customers than we did in January, and we actually had a decent January as well. So that's the biggest month of the year so far. So the plan is to absolutely grow on that every single month. Have a look at your own business, excluding the bonus. If you hit that over the next few days when the reports come out, have a look at what you're getting paid. Remember, our target is to increase our check by £100 every month, so that we're £1,000 a month better off by the end of the year. So that is very doable. It's like 5 or 6 orders a month will increase your check by £100 every month. And if you keep those customers, that's going to build and build and build. So it sounds like not a difficult, but sounds like a big thing to do, to increase your check by £100 every month, but actually isn't that difficult if you just work out exactly what you need to do and decide that that's what you're going to do. So March was amazing for lots of reasons. For most people, if you didn't have a great March, congratulate yourself. Take a couple of minutes today to congratulate yourself. Even if you didn't hit the targets maybe that you wanted to hit, if you didn't quite get where you wanted to get, still make sure that you congratulate yourself for the things that you did do well, whatever they might be. It might be getting on this call every day. It might be that you sent more messages than you would normally do. It might be that you connected with more people. Maybe that, hopefully, I know some of you were planning to do the 30 messages a day that I'm doing. That's 10,000 a year. If you plan to do that and you stuck to it, great. If you didn't stick to it, start again today, right? I'm in my kitchen. I don't know why. I'm in my kitchen. Anyway, Karen's asking where I am. So if you did what you said you were going to do, congratulate yourself. Even if you didn't, take some time to work out what did you do that you're proud of, what did you do well, because it's really, really important that we recognize the small achievements, we recognize the small things, because the little things really stack up. You know, it's like losing weight, a pound a week, a pound a week, a pound a week, a pound a week. By the end of the year, you've lost, 52 pounds if that's what you wanted to lose. Where, as opposed to, like, the big wins and the big celebrations and stuff, definitely celebrate those too, but they come from the smaller things as well. I saw a little quote today that I really loved. I've got this, like, how to have a happy life little thing in my bed, in our kitchen, and today's one says you can't pull somebody uphill without naturally going uphill yourself. Something like that. And I actually really like that idea, that you, like, it's especially, it's what we say, you can't, if you help everyone to get the things that they want, you'll get everything that you want. And the visuality of that I really like, which is if you're helping somebody uphill, coming uphill, you're naturally going to be going up that hill yourself, otherwise you can't do that. So it's a good way of looking at our business, right? Because everything is always uphill in life, really, one way or the other, and that's nothing wrong with that, because uphill means that you're going up and you're growing. My connection's not great, I don't think, but hopefully you can hear me okay. So if you had a great March, fantastic. If you didn't, and you don't spend any time at all beating yourself up about that. I want you to spend the time looking at what can you do differently, what can you do better, what did you do well that you are proud of, that you can stack on and create, and really maximize the little wins, and making sure that you're proud. Maybe you stuck to your diet plan, maybe you exercised more, maybe you sent more messages than you sent the previous month, maybe you got a customer and you haven't had a customer this year, or I don't know, right? But really make sure that you focus on the good stuff, because when you focus on the good stuff, more of the good stuff comes. And either way, if you had a great month or you didn't have the best month that you wanted to have, either way you're further forward than you were. You've learned something, or you've gained something, or you've created something, or you're further along the path to having what you want than you were at the start, this time last month at the 1st of March. So that's March. It's done. Can't affect it anymore. March is in the bag, one way or the other. So congratulations, wherever you ended up, whatever you ended up at is a direct result of what you actually did, right? And that's the beauty of our business, really. The reality of it is, when we look in the mirror at night, we get paid for what we actually did last month, who we actually spoke to, what we actually shared, how much we actually took the product, how much we shared that, and not just last month but the previous months too. But the fabulous part about that is, going forwards, you can always improve on that, right? You can always you are totally in charge of what you earn in this business. You're totally in charge of what you get paid on the 10th of every single month. We are individually, each of us as distributors, in charge of that. So there's no boss, there's nobody deciding what you get paid. You are completely in control of what you get paid every month. So that there's a lot of power in that, right? If you want to get paid more next month than you're going to get paid for this month, then we need to do more. We need to show up more. We need to be more consistent in the things that we're doing. So have a look at starting from April, right? There's a little bit of time on the first of the month where you can kind of do a bit of reflecting of what really worked for you, and then go forwards into how am I going to have the best April that I could possibly have, so that I have a really good check on the 10th of May, so that I'm growing my business all the time. So what I was saying yesterday on this call was time isn't really a real thing anyway, right? It's very much a kind of a man-made concept. I can't remember who said that. Somebody I was listening to, might have been Ed Milet, I'm not sure. It's not real. Oh no, it's John Maxwell, right? It's not a real thing, time. We just created that to give us some structure in our lives, human beings. We created we created the months, we created the weeks. They're not a real thing. So the 1st of April, it's a good time to reset, but it's still, it's not time to just sit back and navel gaze, paint your nails, congratulate ourselves for any length of time, because this business, we have 30 or 31 days every single month to make the most of it. And I always make sure that if I'm running into, out of March, I want to be running into April at the same speed. You know what I mean? You want to be making sure, if you visualize yourself running through the end of the month, you want to come out the other side and into April, you should be still running at the same speed. So make sure that you make that commitment to yourself, to your team, to your business, to your customers. You shouldn't see a change in your activity levels unless you want to ramp them up, but you certainly shouldn't be kind of doing less. And because every time you do that, isn't it harder to get going again? You're like, oh my God, right, a week off, I took a few days off. And now I'm not saying you can never have a break. Of course you can. This business is a couple of hours a day, really is. So you should be having a break pretty much most days, one way or the other. If you want to have that, I don't want to have a break from it anyway, right? Why would you want to have a break from something that you love? I think it's a gift to be able to have something in your life that you absolutely love. So I don't need a break from it. But if you do, and you really actually put like tons and tons of effort in yesterday, do take some time, go for a walk today, go for a swim, go speak to some, ring a good friend and have a glass of wine with them or something. Have a little bit of time, watch some Netflix, put your phone in a drawer and go to the movies. Like I think going to the cinema is a really good thing to do, because it forces you to have a break. You have to put your phone away. You can't use your phone in the cinema. It's a great, or out, even if you're out running, we're like, well, quick, take a photograph of like the cows and the sheep. And so you're always kind of on it a little bit. Whereas when you go to the cinema or you go swimming, you can't do that. You have to switch off. So they're two things that I think are really good for making you take a little bit of time away from your phone. Slightly, you can talk about it afterwards. So that's it from me for today. I just want you to take a little bit of time to reflect on March. Congratulations if you had a fantastic March. It's kind of what I hate about swimming. Yes, sometimes the gift of things, but a bit of a reset is good, right? A bit of a recharge of the batteries. Nobody can run at 100 miles an hour all the time, right? You cannot, Usain Bolt only runs 100 meters. He can't run 800 meters at that pace, because it's just not possible for him to run at that speed. However, be under no illusions. If you didn't run at 100 miles an hour last month, you do not need a break this month, right? And that's for you to decide, not for me, you. If you feel like you were up till midnight, you were working really hard, you were getting all those orders on, you were messaging everybody, you were working all month and you're absolutely exhausted and you need a reset and a recharge, totally fine, do that. But if you really weren't, if you were just meandering through March, or you were just kind of doing what you needed to do, but you don't feel like you need a break, then don't gift yourself something that you don't deserve, right? Me and John have this real rule that we party and we celebrate when we've earned it. And I think that that's a really good rule in your life, to work towards. So you get to decide that. If you want to do that and you want to chill, that's totally fine. But always we pay the consequences, good or bad, for the decisions that we make, right? Where we are in our lives is a direct result of the decisions that we make every day. Good decisions and bad decisions, right? Poor decisions and great decisions. If I put on weight, it's a direct result of the bad decisions that I make at times. Not sleeping properly, eating too much, not exercising, right? All of which I have control over. There's a lot of power in accepting responsibility for where we are, because it means that we're also responsible for where we're going. So it's never about beating ourselves up, right? And it's never about pat yourself on the back by all means. Of course, for the things that you did well, we want to feel good. 80-20, 80% of what you think about what you're doing should be really good. Here's what I did well, here's what I did well, here's what I did well, here's what I did well. 20% of that should be, here's what I can do better, here's what I can do more of, here's what I can tweak. Don't get it mixed up. I don't want 80% of people beating themselves up all the time, 80% of the time, right? But what are the little wins? What are the things you're proud of? What can you stack up? What can you do more of? Can you run into April fast so that you don't lose momentum? Momentum in our business creates speed, and speed creates results. And people see it, right, as well. All the people that you've been messaging at the end of the month, all the people that you've been connecting with, all the people that you've been chasing, they're going to see it. If you recruited new team members, they're going to see it too. Help them to get to Partner Plus if they haven't already. Help them to get to SP this month. They've got a full month to get to Senior Partner. 10 or 12 orders. It's not that difficult. Right? Everybody can do it if we just focus. It's like 1 order every 2 days. Okay, that is us. It is 9:45 almost. Have a beautiful Friday. Office hours is on 11 till 1. So if you want to jump on there and have a great like income producing a couple of hours or even half an hour or 20 minutes of it. Sometimes I only jump on for half an hour if that's all I've got. It's a good time to get off to a good, you're able off to a good start. And then we've got the PJ call tonight. Don't forget at 8 o'clock, where we're going to hear from people who've been promoted. We're going to hear from people who hit 825 and 1. What did they do and how did they do it and how can we maximize it? And we've also got some exciting news to share with you too about this month. So see you there. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to quickly read the chat before I turn it off. Karen is upping her running speed massively. I like the capitals. Chuffed with March, but April's going to be insane. That's my kind of girl. Love that. Okay, have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you so much for sharing and jumping on. I really appreciate it. It's lovely to see you all in the mornings. Bye for now.